Okay, so here we are on 2-3, the third part of Jeff's blog. You can see they've uploaded some of his poems. So we're going to start this one out. We're going to give it some responsive design and add some color. One thing we want to go into, it reset the background and put this first part of the link in. We just have to delete all the way to that backslash. So I deleted too much quotes. So that the background still shows up. So Swartz did something wrong. Backslash assets. Oh, Swartz did a lot wrong. What did I do? Hold on. Control Z. Guess what? This is going to reset this lesson. There we go. And I'm going to come in here and delete. It should just be assets. There we go. Delete the HTTP stuff. Okay. So starting the slideshow. We're going to start by wrapping article tags around every one of his poems. So if I come over here to his poems, I can see that here's one poem with a heading and poem, heading and poem, heading and poem. So I'm going to come down to the HTML. Remember, my HTML starts kind of with this body tag. That's where my website starts. So that's where all the words are. So I'm going to come in here above the H2. And like they said, type open article. And below the closed paragraph, hit enter, close article. Now, you know he has 3 poems, so I have to do this process again and again. So I'm going to put more spaces, and it doesn't matter how many spaces you have, it doesn't show up on the website. So you can set up everything if you want to make it clear for you to see. Article open, article close, article open, article close. Oop. Okay, enter, and then article open, and scroll down below the final. It's hard to see with this thing. There we go. After the final close paragraph, article close. And there's that closed body tag that ends my website. Okay, so that should give us credit for that challenge. There we go. The next challenge that we're going to see is that we're going to change the article's width. So I look through my selectors. I do not have a selector for article yet. So I just come into after a close. It could be here. It could be here. Anywhere I can add a new one. And I'm going to add one for article because I want to make those articles have a width of 500 pixels. Changing, see how narrow they get now? And I want them to have padding on the left-hand side too and right so that they are in the middle. And close. Okay, so now I've given his website a little more smushed it, I guess, and made it more condensed, like little posts. Add a margin of 0 auto to the article style, so margin 0, and you're just typing exactly what it asks you auto. There you go. And you can see that centered his poems on the screen. So margin 0 auto centers. Replace the width 500 with max width. So I'm just going to change this width property to max width. That's so they don't get any bigger than 500 pixels on a phone or anywhere. They won't get any larger than that. They can get smaller when your screen gets smaller, like on a cell phone, but they won't get any bigger than 500 pixels. Okay. We're going to add a media query. This is style that only occurs on a cell phone, so it has to go all the way at the bottom of my style sheet. So after my final selector, I'm going to come down here. I like to create some space so I can see what's going on. And I'm going to go at media. That way I know it's separate, sort of, from the rest of my style. This is style that I only want to occur on devices that are below 500 pixels. So when my website is pulled up on a cell phone, I know it has to look different than it looks on your tablet or on your computer screen. So that's kind of what these are for. And I'm going to change body, like they say, and background. So you can do the same thing. It's set up the same way that regular CSS is set up. It's just in a special section of your code so that it only occurs when that width is 500 pixels or less. So let's see why that. So when I make it smaller, like on the phone, you'll see it changes to red. Okay. Next. Let's test out your browser narrower and see it turn red. So narrower, it turns red. Okay. Yours is probably red on your screen because your computers are smaller than my laptop. Okay. We're now going to take that red out and we're going to change what we put in that media query. So the H1 is going to have a font size of 36 pixels. We're going to set that up and then we'll close that. And then we're going to do one for the list items that when we're on a cell phone, they're going to go back to that display block so that they line up instead of being horizontal, because that will look better on a cell phone. And padding 5 pixels, and so that there's a little cushion, and then I have to remember to close it and close it. Okay, so when I go to the cell phone, what I should see is that the font size here for Jeff's name shrinks and the list changes. So here we go, Jeff's name shrinks and the list changes to vertical. Okay, next slide. Looks much better. We're going to practice using a way to make color, which is called a hex code. So instead of writing out red, black, blue, we're going to use what's called hex code. So I'm going to come up to my UL where I have black as the background, and they're saying change that to hashtag F00, and that makes red in hex code. So instead of typing red, I can type hashtag F00. So hashtag, that's where that hashtag came from. F, which is full red, and 0 of the other colors. Okay. And let's take a look. There's another way to do color, which is Rgba format. That means red, green, blue, and alpha. So they're going to show us how to do that. So instead of having hashtag F00 to make red, I can do Rgba, red, green, blue, alpha, 0 red, 0 green, 0 blue, and I want it to be 0.5 transparency, which is the alpha. So you can see now it doesn't have any color to it, but the background is transparent. Okay. Oh, so let's miss something. Okay, did it. So you can use RGBA in different color values. They go up to the red goes up to 255, green goes up to 255, blue goes up to 255, and your alpha number, your transparency goes from 0, which is no transparent, or from full transparency, to 1, which is a solid color. So this example would make solid white. Okay, now we're going to talk JavaScript, which is a third language which adds interactivity to your website. So we're going to, inside each article, we want to make a button so that somebody can like one of his poems. So that's the first task. So we're now in HTML because we can see these are tags. I'm going to come into every article, and right before the close article, button, like, and a close button. Okay, so now you can see that I've created that like button. I'm actually just going to copy it. Here, copy, come here, enter, paste, and come here, enter, paste. And I did it, 3 like buttons. Now we're going to make them interactive. So we need JavaScript. So coming down here, okay, below my article, right above my close body tag, I'm going to write script, open, and you can see it's triggering the JavaScript, and you'll get this error first before you close it. Close JavaScript. Of course, this error again, because Ms. Watts didn't type a close tag. Okay, there you go. I closed it. Just mad at you. Okay, did it. Okay, now we're going to type some JavaScript. We're going to write between these 2 tags, alert, parentheses, quotations, JavaScript works. Exclamation, quotations, parenthesis. Did it. And if I click on a button, hold on, run JavaScript, click on, there you go, JavaScript works, did it. Now we're going to attach them to the button. So this is the code we need to write. It's super sensitive to spelling and symbols. So you need to make sure you're typing it correctly. So $, parenthesis, button, oh, and so it's already made an error, quotations, button, end quotation, parentheses, dot, on, parentheses, quotation, click. So on a click, comma, space, function. I'm going to start a function, parenthesis, parenthesis, space, that open bracket. Next line, alert, parentheses, clicked, quotation, exclamation, quotation, parentheses, enter, bracket, parenthesis, end with a semicolon. Make sure it's all right. Yep. And then when I run JavaScript and I click on a button, it says clicked. If you change this word here, watch this. Hi. You can change that, run JavaScript, and it says hi. So that's what comes up when you click it. Okay. And that's just showing you how it's telling you, your computer, when you choose the button, on the click of the button, I'm listening for the click, this is going to perform an alert that says a button was clicked. Okay. There we go. And that's the end of that lesson. Go ahead and take the quiz.